Live, live, live. Okay, let's see where we're at here, folks. Just checking all the settings. And soon, Patti will join us and we'll have a cool chat. So, let me just see how we do this here. Okay. StreamYard looks a little different than it did last time. What do you know about that? All right, cool. How to get out of your own way. That's what we'll be talking about today. I'm just going to get everything set up here and we'll jump right in. Cool. We got the right camera, we got the right audio, and we are good to go. So today we're going to be talking about how to get out of your own way. Let me just see if our guest is here yet. And we'll get started. Cool. All right, I don't see it coming in yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, cool, I can share my screen and everything. Hi, Jacqueline. We all have to get out of our own way. I don't know why we seem to sometimes be our own worst enemy. Oh, look at that. I can put your comments on there too. Cool. So as soon as Patti jumps in at 4 p.m., we'll dig into that a little bit. Patti is here. Cool. Hi, Patti.
Hi.
I'm adding you to the stream.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You're in your New York office today?
I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Okay.
So I tried the green screen, but it made me look like an Oompa Loompa. So I figured I'd come back to this sort of semi-real background. So thanks for being here. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah, Jacqueline's here. You know Jacqueline, right?
I do. I just talked to Jacqueline.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Let me see if I can get my logo off your head. I haven't used StreamYard.
Maybe I can wear it like a hat.
No, it's good. It's fine. It's all good. Oh, look, and there's my link. Okay, good. So we're good to go. Here's the deal. I wanted to talk with you a little bit briefly because you have helped me get out of my own way. And I want to help people with some advice on how they can also get out of their own way. And I'll give you a little background for the folks who are watching. I've known Patti for many, many years. We've met at various events and things like that. Even back in your corporate days, you know? So, and then over the course of the last several years, I've worked with Patti in the receiving school, which I'll ask you to talk about in a moment, as well as one-on-one. And there was a time when, not that long ago, you'll remember this, Patti, when I was saying, I don't know what's going on. I'm working so hard. I'm working so many hours. I just can't seem to get stuff to work and nothing's going the way I want it to go. And I need more clients, blah, blah, blah. So after I did my little pity party, you said, well, you just need to shut everything down and go away for like a week. You probably said a month, but I'm going to choose to remember that it was a week.
There was some negotiation involved. I do remember that.
But my first thought was, I'm going to use a bad word here. You're out of your fucking mind, Patti. That's the worst idea I've ever heard. But I listened to you and I went off the grid for a few days in the woods and it was amazing. It's like the clouds parted when I came back and everything started to fall in place. Now, I'm not going to say it was night and day, and the funny thing was other people were telling me, like our friend Catherine Avery, she's like, I've been telling you to do that for 2 years. I'm like, well, I didn't hear it until you said it. I don't know why that is, but so do you remember when you told me that and I said you're crazy and then things started to work? So how was that?
And I will tell you, it was at least 2 weeks. I know you didn't do the full 2 weeks. So can you imagine? Could you imagine?
No, I was I had hives the first day I shut my phone off. And they have these little tiny houses in the woods called Getaway. And I did that. So no internet, no phone, no TV, no nothing, no CNN, which was really good because I was just obsessing over CNN at the time. And things magically I don't use that word lightly, started to fall into place.
Mhm.
So I know other folks have been in that position. When you feel like you're banging your head against the wall, what advice do you offer to sort of stop being your own worst enemy?
Yeah. So the key word is stop.
Mm.
Because it's really hard to stop the voices in your head initially. But you can stop physically what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You can stop over efforting. And I can tell you from a metaphysical standpoint, when you're pushing and it feels like you're pushing a boulder up a hill, that's the sort of the energetic metaphor I use.
Yeah.
You're pushing away help from the universe, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're in flow, it doesn't feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can be working a lot. And if you're in flow, you know, I know you, Lou, when you get into a project you love, you're just in it and time disappears.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same as like, gotta make the donuts, you know? So when you're in the gotta make the donuts energy, you've started pushing away help from the universe, right? So you want to just back off, stop doing, right? Just give yourself a second. But for the other reason is that your amygdala, when you're overworking like that, is actually who's in charge. And your amygdala has absolutely no executive functioning. It has no visioning. It has no planning structure to it. It is a fight, flight, freeze, respond to crisis part of your brain. So you are responding to a business need as if you're responding to a car coming at you in the street, right? You're not going to want to use the same strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get the blood flowing back up to your prefrontal cortex, which is where the executive functioning is, or, you know, the middle of your brain, the visioning is all up here. You have to stop and breathe and do all those annoying things that you hear yoga. Yes, just like a monkey driving a car. Not helpful, right? So, I mean, that's the first thing, is just stop what you're doing, even if it's just at first because you're listening to me and you can't trust me. And, you know, I mean, you can trust me, but it's likely that the first time you're meeting me, you can trust me. If you could just give yourself an hour from when you get off this and just stop and like breathe, you know, and read a magazine or watch TV. You don't have to meditate, but just stop.
And it's funny because Catherine gave me the same advice, and I didn't listen to it. And it's weird. It's almost like one of those things, like when you're ready, the teacher appears, right? Because I wasn't, you know, when you finally told me, it clicked, right? So,
and you know, I think, you know, a lot of this stuff is like quitting smoking. You know, they say most people have to quit smoking 7 times before they successfully quit, because, and it can feel like you're not doing it right those first 6 times, but actually you're practicing at quitting. And so you might be practicing at surrender. You might be practicing at stopping, and then you just hear it a different way. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Catherine, that he ignored you. I think the other thing too is that, you know, I don't know how Catherine was coming at it, but knowing Catherine and her good heart, she saw what was right for you, and she wanted you to do what was right for you. And what's a little bit different about the way I approach things is I don't have any investment in what happens. I really just try and feel into the truth of what someone needs in this moment without an agenda for myself. And whether we realize it or not, when someone has no attachment to something, we can feel it, and it actually helps us receive it in a different way.
Interesting. So why is it, like, I know a lot of folks, it's just about letting go of resistance and being open to receive. And I, as you know, from my like Protestant work ethic, whatever you want to call it, it's like, no, I have to give. I can't receive. I just have to give. So how do we, and I want to talk about receiving school, because that's sort of what changed it for me, but for other folks who may be watching, how do you even begin that process of being open to receive?
Well, I think the first is if the word, what I've heard from people is when they heard the words the receiving school, they were like, damn, I think I need that, So like, if you can bring that much consciousness to it, you've done step one, right? Can you honor the fact that you do give more than you receive, right? So that's step one. Step two is now look out at nature, which is really the teachers of us, of what is meant to be. The waves go in and out in equal measure. Trees bloom leaves and then they fall to the ground. Our breath goes in and out in equal measure. All balance in nature shows us that giving and receiving has to be matched. And it's only human society that teaches anything else.
Wow.
So if you can just start to imagine that, oh yeah, this overgiving or this need to give or this need to just, a lot of people like you, Lou, are just such good-hearted people that you're like, you feel like, I want to help other people. I have so many tools that can help other people, that you just feel like if you stop, that somehow you're letting down your family of origin by letting down your gifts, you're letting down your community, you're letting down your clients. And so then the next shift to make is to remember that you are 50% of your equation, right? So you have to be 50% of the equation, and then everyone else has to be 50% of the equation. And that means you're giving to yourself in equal measure that you're giving to everyone else. And if you can't honor and honestly say that's the case, then you've got something to change, because the way you treat yourself is the way you treat everyone else to treat you. It's the way you show the universe how to treat you.
Right. Like, I thought like, oh my God, it's so noble of me to be working on Thanksgiving on a client project, like poor little Marta Lou. It's like, I don't think so. But receiving school helped me with that a lot, because it just opened once you finally let your guard down a little bit and say, okay, it's okay to receive. You know me, I'm like, I'm resistance and not woo and all that, but somehow that all
woo and all.
So, so tell us about my experience, as many others in receiving school was, and I don't say this lightly, was really life-changing. I mean, night, day. And I've been through it twice. So, and I'll go through it a third time, because why not? Because we always need to be reminded to not fall back into those old habits. So tell us about receiving school for folks who may not be aware of what it's all about.
Yeah. So, and I will say I do receiving school right along with everyone else. Yes, I'm there. And I'm there as a coach, but I'm also there as, a student. And so believe me, we're never finished with this work. So receiving school is really set up to help you receive first the outer world, then receive yourself, and then finally receive spiritual guidance. So essentially, when we're in resistance, the no woo-woo, yeah. Thank you, Catherine. So we resist receiving in lots of different ways, or we create resistance in a lot of different ways. And I actually have these 5 rules of receiving that sort of like walk you through receiving school. But really, at an even higher level, it's that there's all these things happening around you. And a lot of times, because of spiritual teachings, because of church teachings, because of personal development, we've been taught you always have to be positive. You always have to set a goal and go for it. You always have to blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter whether you learned it in business school or, and I will say for those of you listening, yes, I'm woo, but I was a former corporate banker. Like this goes across the board. It doesn't matter where you learn that you got to go for it, that you got to make things happen, right? But a lot of times you're guided to deny what's around you, right? And so the first third of receiving school is really about learning how to let that in. And when you do, what happens is that's what gets the other outer stuff to flow in, the clients, the money, the support, the love. You know, we have people in receiving school, their primary goal is to attract a loving partner because they don't have that, right? Well, it's fine to like visualize those things and make vision boards, but if you actually haven't released your resistance to the outer world, that won't flow in. So that's the first part. The second part is we have been trained since we were little to reject ourselves. And this is like a very old psychological theory. It's what humanistic psychology is based on, is this rejected self theory. And it essentially says that from a young age, there's things we do that our caretakers modeled to us are not acceptable. And so then we start pushing them away from us. But the challenge is the pieces we're pushing away are really just shadows of a very bright part of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And without those bright parts, we can't actually achieve what we want to achieve. So a big one we talk about is the lazy self. Like most people don't want to be associated with lazy, but that's the shadow, and the light side is knowing how to accurately rest.
Mm-hmm.
So that your well is full and you can give from fullness, right? So you have to be able to return those parts to yourself. And then finally, and this is the real woo part, but I think you can agree, Lou, like even for someone very practical, it starts to make sense, is that you have guidance within you, and then you have spiritual guidance coming from the divine, God, source, whatever word, spirit guides, angels.
Mm-hmm.
It's there for you every minute of every day. When you learn the language that they use to talk to you, it becomes safer to not always be working, to not always be efforting.
Mm-hmm. So much interesting how our background and our upbringing has so much power and influence over that. Because I saw my dad working 7 days a week, and I thought that's what it means to be a responsible adult, you know. So yeah, I had to unlearn a lot of stuff in the last few years. So I'm going to put up my little link to Receiving School so you can tell people how to be part of it and when it all starts, because I know you're in the midst of your launch now, which is very exciting. I know folks who are watching this have probably seen a gazillion emails from me, but it's only because I really, really believe in it. And Patti has been a huge, huge help. I share this all the time, but I call you my spiritual consigliere. So
it's my favorite term. It is.
Because, you know, in The Godfather, the consigliere was Tom Hagen. That's the most trusted advisor, who, by the way, didn't kill anyone. So that was good. But it's a really important, trusted, you know, important member of the family. So you're my spiritual consigliere. So thank you for that. And Receiving School is live now, right? Open.
Well, enrollment is open. Next week is orientation week. So enrollment is open until Saturday the 3rd. But what's happening today is the last day to get the first fast action bonuses.
Ooh, yeah, right.
So there's about $1,700 in bonuses that expire tonight. So that's a really strong reason to join by today. And just go to Lou's link. You'll see there, you know, how to sign up. And if you have any questions for me, my number's right there. You can text me. I'm happy to talk. When you join, I'm trying to think of what question you asked. You just said, I've lost track of what you'd like me to.
No, I said my link is louborton.com/Patti L. Patti Lennon. And this is airing live on Tuesday, March 30th. So if you join by tonight, you get some really cool fast action bonuses. But you can join all the way up until Saturday, April 3rd, correct?
Correct. Yep. Right up until midnight Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. And, you know, what I will say to you, not you, Lou, but you watching, is people ask, like, how do I know whether this is right for me? And there's no demographic or no stage at life or no anything that says, oh, yeah, this is who someone is that joins. But there is a feeling, and the feeling that graduates tell me that they got at the beginning was they just knew this was what they should do. Like it didn't even make sense for a lot of people, or like they weren't sure would this work, but something in their gut told them this is what they should do. And so I offer that because it gives you kind of a guiding feeling, or or idea on how to help you make that decision. Because what I can tell you is I don't like anyone to join that isn't ready to join at all. You know, I really do believe in this work so much. I believe in it so much that I actually shut down my private client business this year for at least the first half of the year, possibly the entire year, because my spirit guides told me I need to put all my time and attention on getting this message out to the world.
That's awesome. And I know I had the same thing, because I'm like, you know, oh my God, it's all these woo-woo people. And it really wasn't. But my impression was like, you know, like I was being selfish because this was something that I felt I needed for myself. And like, you know, who am I to spend the money on me? But there was that pull, and I'm so glad that I kind of followed that gut instinct, because it was just really, like I said, it was really amazing. And even though, you know, some people are like, oh, do I have to be at every single session? What if I miss something? I mean, like, you have catch up weeks and you're always there and always doing Facebook Lives and stuff. So there's just a ton of support and guidance. And it isn't one of this thing like, go watch 8 modules and I'll see you in 3 weeks. You know, it's really hands-on. So.
Yeah, and I say this humbly. I really don't feel like, I think the is confusing for some people, especially people who are in the business world, because you join, the price is $997. You join a $997 program, and a lot of times what you'll get is pre-recorded training, and you might get some touch points with the leader, but that's about it. This is my life's work. I am with you every step of the way. There won't be it's unicorn day.
It's crazy. Perfect.
It's, you know, it is a program that I am deeply committed to, and with our members, I'm deeply committed to you in the program. You know, as long as you want to be known, I will know you. It won't be something where you don't even know if I know your name.
This is true. And I know, like I said, I'm probably like the least likely, you know, prospect or suspect for this kind of thing. But it was, I'm telling you, the reason why I have you on here and I promote it so much is just because I believe in you. I believe in this program. It really works wonders, and people should give themselves the gift of this program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patti. And thanks for being here today. Good luck with everything. And I know we will chat again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.